Minianum, some of us transfer from Dimupa. Na Yaria who will be a number of journey dear so, and me and Yano, Umpaso when you be. And now best of the Kakra. Nani and Nimuda, ya diabetes, diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and Nika Samrosmo, the Kakamino. Say it to me, your friend, you need me to say Banku, Fufuo, Dokun, and Pessi, and the Kakamon. It's in Asia Pa, and Coma, true green foods. Yawado, Makobo, Green Health Pharmacy, and a functional medicine center home. So what did me and beer, carbohydrates, no, a yellow. Yeah, you're very healthy. Now, dear Debucran say, what diabetes you, uni bill, udia, uni problem. Me much red. If I say we did true green foods for me, I don't know. What's serious? My poem did a CP. Me sugar na ne free cost of dinner. I told you, ma. Made it fufu, benku, dokuno, tuzafi, eba, any amala. Omuni and nana meka. So who can and just smart nabe. Dosi mixed fry, alka mixed fry, fufu mixed fry, yummy mixed fry, kajma porridge, altar oats, better oats, clean oats, and the baking mixed fry. True green foods in Sweden. Start to send me anymore. Who counts what? Sima nabe. Minianum, some of us transfer from Dimupa. Na Yaria who will be a number of journey. Minianum, some of us transfer from Dimupa. Na Yaria who will be a number of journey dear so, and me and Yano, Umpaso when you be. And now best of the Kakra. Nani and Nimuda, ya diabetes, diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and Nika Samrosmo, the Kakamino. Say it to me, your friend, you need me to say Banku, Fufuo, Dokun, and Pessi, and the Kakamon. It's in Asia Pa, and Coma, true green foods. Yawado, Makobo, Green Health Pharmacy, and a functional medicine center home. So what did me and beer, carbohydrates, no, a yellow. Yeah, you're very healthy. Now, dear Debucran say, what diabetes you, uni bill, udia, uni problem. Me much red. If I say we did true green foods for me, I don't know. What's serious? My poem did a CP. Me sugar na ne free cost of dinner. I told you, ma. Made it fufu, benku, dokuno, tuzafi, eba, any amala. Omuni and nana meka. So who can and just smart nabe. Dosi mixed fry, alka mixed fry, fufu mixed fry, yummy mixed fry, kajma porridge, altar oats, better oats, clean oats, and the baking mixed fry. True green foods in Sweden. Start to send me anymore. Who counts what? Sima nabe.
You are the author of this document.
I am not the author of this document. This document is coming from Goldman Sachs Global Investment Research, and you can see it underneath it.
Okay, so this is somebody's. I do not appreciate the body that is giving this suggestion, but I would want to believe that you believe in this this paragraph that you have actually shown.
Of course, I believe in it.
And that if you were, for instance, a minister in charge, you could have gone by these suggestions. Is that your only reason why you think that the finance minister must be censored because he didn't go by what you ought to have done?
I'm sorry to say that is not my only reason. We have given you 7 grounds. I have taken you through 4 grounds myself, and that cannot be the only reason. This is one of the reasons that I believe the Minister of Finance must go through the censure motion. I have said that if he had acted, Ghana wouldn't have been where we are today. And I've said that the problems we are facing, economic hardships that the country is going through, to the extent that our livelihood has been eroded, I believe that if we had acted back in the year 2021, Ghana wouldn't have been where we are. We could have remedied the situation. And that is why I put that graph out there.
Chairman, Chairman, Honorable Anyumedu, I appreciate your question, but just to...
He hasn't put a question to you, Harun. He hasn't. You are completely out of order.
No, yes. We are together on debt.
No. Just go on. He's not protecting anybody. He's
no.
Not protecting anybody. Go, Harun.
No.
If not, you are dead yet. Let me finish.
There's a question on debt.
Yes.
No, unfortunately, Honorable Katie Amon, I will say me peka sadudu.
Yeah, come on.
No, my tree is not good.
Go on.
Okay, you would agree with me that this suggestion, which you believe that it could have saved Ghana, is not the only suggestion on this earth to save the situation in which Ghana was. Your comments.
Thank you very much. When a country,
Chairman, so I have to contextualize this for the Honorable Atu to explain. You see, debt to GDP, we share our data. Chairman, in 2016, Ghana's debt to GDP was 55.6%. It increased to 55.5 or lower to 55.5 in 2017. In 2018, our debt to GDP was 57.6%. The explanation in 2018 why it was lowered was because the economy was rebased. They rebased the economy. 2019, debt to GDP 62.4%, 2020 76.1%, 2021 83%. And the World Bank is projecting that by 2022, it may be 104%. So we simply with this, yes, it may be his way of resolving it, are saying that the Honorable Minister for Finance have plunged Ghana into a debt crisis. With debt crisis, allows us only to spend more on debt service. So by the time the Honorable Minister for Finance spends money on just 3 items, amortization and interest on loans and compensation, he exceeds his revenue. That again, Chairman, because it's a question we have to explain. When you take e-levy, as Honorable Mercer said, you see the problem with e-levy is that the minister had projected 6.9 billion as outturn for his revenue. He projected that into 2023 and to 2024 in his medium-term expenditure framework for the budget. Where is that money going to come from when he's only making 416 or 500 million? And that's why the President of the Republic himself was concerned when he said that he wants to up revenue from 13% to 18%. Have we come or we have gone? When you are bringing e-levy, you say it will up revenue from 13 to 18%.
No one is succeeded in collapsing e-levy. What did you expect?
No.
You never contributed to that, and you assisted the whole of the nation that we collapsed it. I asked the question. The question had not been answered, and other things had been said. Chairman, permit me to actually take him.
No, let him take me on. I'm ready. Thank you, Chairman.
Because he who does not believe in God, there is no need persuading him with Jesus. You had already said that e-levy you wouldn't be part of it.
Yes, but I think heckling the witness is not something. He was heckling the witness.
Well, it's unfortunate that he wouldn't even let him complain. I'm not sure he answered the question that was meant for Ato. He hijacked it and wouldn't answer the question anyway. Oh. All right, let's see if Ato, can you try it again? Take it. It will come to you. As soon as he finishes, Mesa will come to you. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, there are 5 ways to deal with debt overhang. When a country finds itself in an unsustainable debt situation, there are 5 ways you can deal with it. Number 1, you grow out of the debt. Obviously, Ghana is not in a position to grow out of the debt, so that is off the table. Number 2, inflate the debt away. As to whether we can inflate the debt away is impossible at this stage because of the nomenclature of Ghana's debt. It's not possible. Third option is for you as a country to consider repaying the debt through fiscal adjustment. Fiscal adjustment, and that is what I've put out there, that Ghana had a chance to repay the debt through fiscal adjustment. And the only way we could do is not to increase the expenditure or continue the fiscal recklessness. Or what we could have done at the time was to do fiscal consolidation. We failed to do that. Now the option left for us is either to go through debt repression, fiscal repression, or probably to restructure our debt. So now, and no wonder people are talking of debt restructuring. The truth is, whether we like it or not, because we've missed this golden opportunity, people will have to get some form of haircut or some form of debt restructuring. That is what is happening.
Seems to have a whole input into the budget, into the IMF program, and all that. You seem to know quite a lot about it, don't you? Have you finished, Honorable?
But that's why he's a ranking member on finance.
I didn't know that he's contributing to the budget preparation, the IMF, whatever.
Yes, but he's on top of his brief so that he can represent the minority on financial matters.
Have you finished? Yes, Mesa.
Mr. Chairman, my name has been mentioned twice with respect to the point that I made on Parliament breaching Section 22 of the PFMA. And the point that I made really had nothing to do with the performance or the outturn of the e-levy. It has everything to do with what the law enjoined Parliament to do by a certain date, failing which we all knew there would be consequences. So the point I'm making is that to the extent that Parliament failed to pass the law by 31st December as enjoined by the law, okay, we knew that the ratings agencies were going to downgrade. But you cannot approve the budget, approve the appropriations, and fail to approve the revenue measures. That's the law.
No, respectfully, Chairman.
So
Parliament is not a rubber stamp.
We knew very well that there will be consequences.
You can't assume that anything you bring to Parliament
That's
will be
the point.
approved.
But you approved
It's
the
not
budget.
automatic.
No.
It's not automatic.
Was the budget approved or not? Was the appropriations approved or not?
We made clear that we were opposed to the levy. We made clear.
It's not question and answer series amongst us. You're all out of order. Doctor, were you going to say something? Yes, go on. Yeah, go on. And then.
The rubber stamp. Anything that.
Thank you, co-chairs. Can we please? If I may ask, on the issue, you mentioned a company, Jubilee Holding, as one company that's neither in the consolidated fund nor a subsidiary of the GMPC. Are there other companies that have come to your notice that are similar to this? Because you referred to, in point 3, illegal...
No. See, this is the point that we're making. They've been very specific. They are interested in a specific company.
Co-chair, please let me finish my question because you'll understand why I'm asking this.
Okay.
Illegal payment of oil revenues into offshore accounts, plural. It's not accounts. That's why I'm asking if you can provide us with more that will give some kind of supporting evidence to accounts being plural as opposed to one. That is the basis of my question.
JOHL thing to be a few accounts, not just one account, but the whole contest is about the JOHL thing. That's how I've understood it. We have had this debate all along on the on the basis of that understanding. So I'm not sure that at this belatedly they are going to be able to say that it's a different account they are talking about.
Mr. Chairman, for clarity,
Yes.
I just want to say that it can be one company and multiple accounts.
Very
so one company can have 2 or 3 accounts. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it can be 2 companies. It's one company with multiple accounts.
So just for clarity, you're saying there's just the one company. There are no other companies like this. It was just the one that you made reference to.
GMPC has other subsidiaries like Exploco, but a week or 2 ago, if you were in the chamber, the Honorable Kobna Donko and the chairman, that day it was a vice chairman of the employment committee, moved a motion on GMPC, and they listed the subsidiaries of GMPC in their report. In that report, there was no Jubilee Holding. Thank you.
This $100 million in particular had to do with Jubilee Holding in particular, not the other ones. That's why it's making reference to only the JN.
Mr. Chairman, can they be specific whether there was one account or 2 accounts? So in preparing to answer, we can respond appropriately.
No, we don't have to do that. He was clear. He said that we're talking about that money, but there might be a few accounts. We are looking at 100 million.
I think it's
if
important.
If the 100 million is found in 10 accounts, so be it. If it is in just one account, so be it. So we'll get some...
Yes, and Counsel, your client is alleged to have made the payments. He would appear before this committee, and I'm sure he can confirm how many accounts, were involved in receiving the pay in the 100 million.
Very well.
Go on.
Thank you very much, Co-Chair. At some point in, elucidating your points, you mentioned that there was some kind of overspending when it came to the COVID budget. Would you be able to provide the committee with more details so that we can actually, look at this to be able to actually come up with a finding that we can report to the floor?
Yes.
Specifics.
Yes, we can provide you with further details on the COVID expenditure that we think it was over expenditure, and we think that it is part of the reason why
that
we are
extra
where
to
we are.
what you already alleged, or what?
No,
You're going to look for more.
No, we have. I mean, these are public information, so we can put them together.
So you pile on as we go along. You pile on more evidence. You pile on more evidence, isn't it?
No, she asked for it. She asked for it whether I can submit
No.
them.
But you see, I think you should also be fair to our colleague. You have been very clear in your stand that this is what you're looking at. She has asked you innocently that, well, would you be able to add some more?
So you want me to say no?
No. Be fair with her.
No, I'm fair. That's what I'm saying. Yes, I can.
Look around on a frolic of our own and look for some more. I mean,
So now was an answer. If you want more, I'll give you more.
She hasn't said that. It's you saying that, yes, we'll go around and then fish for some more information and add. No.
With all due respect,
I have a question.
with all due respect, the question from the Honorable Zanato Ajima Rollins was to the effect that, okay, did they have or can they give further particulars?
Yes.
With respect to the COVID expenditure. It was very specific. In addition to what they have alleged, can they
bring it as we go along?
No. That can, with all due respect, that can be supplied to this committee. It's public information.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, let me refer you to our rules, standing on the 67D, which applies to this committee's hearing on questions. 67(1)D. A question shall not be asked regarding proceedings in a committee which have not been placed before the House by a report from the committee. Mr. Chairman, the Speaker has constituted a special committee to look into the COVID expenditure. We are in the process of evaluating all the documents that my colleague Arthur Forson and the rest of members of the other committee has been tasked to do. I believe that we are in that process, and that question from my colleague ought not to be admitted because that report, per this rule, has not yet been laid before the House, for which he will be sitting here to say that, oh, I have further evidence to what has been supplied or been requested of the committee.
No, with all due respect, are you done with your submission? I think that you are, grossly mistaken in your reading of Order 67(1)D. Order 67(1)D relates to proceedings at plenary. In respect of which questions are being asked regarding proceedings of the committee that do not arise out of the report that has been laid before plenary. All right. In the course of the exercise of the investigative or inquiry power of a committee, that question is appropriate. The question that she has asked is appropriate because she's asking follow-up questions relating to information that may be made available to the committee so that we can make a fair determination of the matter that is the subject matter of the inquiry.
Mr. Chairman, where do you posit this question with regards to those grounds that they've enumerated in their proposition to this committee?
It is in the context of evidence that has been laid before this committee.
Which one?
There are 7 of them.
Yes.
So where do you place it?
No, she's looking at item 7, gross mismanagement.
Gross mismanagement of what?
Of the economy. Honorable Patrick Boma, you have the grounds of the motion, don't you?
I do, but I'm at a loss as to where she wants to posit.
Point is that whatever there is to put before, they have. That's my point. We already have what they have. We have enough of it. So it is all for them to go out based on the question that she's asked, for them to go fishing and to add more onto it. Go on to your next question, Doctor.
Chairman or co-chair, for me, the issue that I have, which is to do with our job here, if you're talking about mismanagement of an economy, it's not just an abstract concept. There are figures you speak to, and I'm simply asking for them to provide figures on some of the things that they have said. Because otherwise, our reports...
I'm actually helping your point.
I
Some
know,
of the figures they themselves have made.
That's all I'm saying.
No problem at all.
Yes.
See, the impression is that they're going to look for some more, some extra whatever.
It's just
so, yeah, for what he has
to
said.
speak specifically.
Give us some evidence on some documents on
Mr.
what
Chairman,
has already been adduced. There's no
the
problem
minister
at all.
reported to the House and
Honorable
stated
Obama.
clearly that government spent 18.3 billion Ghana cedis on COVID. It's of public knowledge. So what again are we asking for?
Well, they have that figure, so they're going to bring it. See, I mean, what's your worry? What's the problem? They go and bring
But was it, no,
18.5
yes,
billion.
no, Honorable Padiguama, what is the breakdown? Was there a breakdown?
Yes, there was.
Okay.
There was a debate on the floor. You spoke. I spoke after you. I recall vividly, Mr. Chairman.
But it doesn't mean that the committee cannot inquire into those matters. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, in the 2021, Mr. Chairman, in the 2021 media review, page 100 and 101 has details of some of the COVID expenditures. Some, not all, but at least about majority of it. 2021 media review, page 100 and 101 has the details.
Yes. And then after that, Honorable Ahiefo.
Go on.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, on the issue of JOHL, I want to find out from the proponents whether they are aware that JOHL is a limited liability company.
Limited liability company, who are the directors and holders of it? Limited liability company. We are hearing you. Who are they? I'm aware that it was incorporated in 2021.
They are not aware.
Unless you are telling us.
Can we have an answer?
Yeah, I'm aware that when the Honorable Counsel for the Minister was here, Gabi, I warned him. He had a document before him. I told him my eyes are very fast. I'll chew it. So when he opened the first paragraph, I saw JOL incorporated in 2020. So I'm answering based on
What is that? What is that?
I wasn't aware until I read from him.
So you read it. What did you glean from
I
there?
read from him. I kept warning him that don't put your document before my eyes.
All right.
He did.
So that's fine. So what is the answer? You are aware that it's a limited liability company?
Oh, from what I read from him, he provided an answer that it was incorporated in JOH.
What is getting
in
to
his first
630?
paragraph.
Even the minority leader wouldn't behave the way you are
So,
behaving.
so
It's not
limited
possible.
liability company. Our concern is with whose approval did you take money meant from the Petroleum Holding Fund into that limited liability company? Who are the owners of that limited liability company? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, for your information, I think our grounds has nothing to do with the company. Our grounds has to do with the amount of money that they do not hit the Petroleum Holding Fund, but ended up in a particular account. That's our grounds.
Okay. Okay. So, it's confirmed. It's confirmed before this committee.
You can only...
The Honorable Mesa.
Yes.
It's confirmed before this committee that Jubilee Oil Holdings Limited is a limited liability company. Can you now proceed?
Mr. Chairman, I want to find out from the proponents whether they are aware that the shareholder of that limited liability company is GMPC.
I won't know. I didn't incorporate it. And if it is GMPC, absolute, or there are others. Is it 100% GMPC? Because I wasn't to answer questions.
You are asking the question, or you are saying that you don't know?
He says it's own limited liability owned by GMPC.
He asks you, are you aware?
As I live here,
I take it that he's not aware.
No,
Go
as
to your
I
next
live here,
question.
I'll go to Registrar General and profile
To your next question.
Jubilee
He's not
Holding.
aware. Your
Thank
next
you.
question.
Mr. Chairman, I want to find out from the proponents that if it is established that indeed JOHL is a limited liability company which is 100% owned by GMPC, and that JOHL is the entity that owns the 7% stake in the Jubilee and 10 fields, they still will hold the same view that the revenue that accrues to JOHL.
Governor, look a minute. Wait, listen to us. 1 second. No. We're not going to answer any of that. Does it help? Because the two of us were conferring. We think it will be fair to get GMPC here. So can we hold on this and for GMPC to come and deal with the JHO matter? So if we can
Chairman,
just leave it.
you see, the import of my line of questioning, that it seems to me, because I have the work program of GMPC that was submitted to Parliament and duly approved. And in that document, GMPC, in fact, disclosed to Parliament that in October 2021, they had acquired a subsidiary company by name.
That's why we think that we've got to get them here and then put it
Chairman,
to them.
my point is this. It seems to me that a wrong premise has been set with a view to embarrass and nothing more. That's why I'm going where I'm going.
Well,
so that
I
if it is clear.
also raised the matter. I raised the matter whether they were aware that GMPC has something to do with this, and we left it hanging like that because I think we had agreed that we get GMPC to come and matter out. So
you want to invite GMPC to come and respond to this question?
Definitely coming to deal with
the person who has been accused of paying sums of money outside the jurisdiction is the finance minister.
We appreciate that.
Not GMPC.
We appreciate that.
And so it's important for us to, please, Mr. Co-Chairman, it's important for us to establish whether indeed and in fact the minister has directed or even made payments outside the jurisdiction in the first place.
By the time we get to the minister's response, this matter would have resolved.
Very well.
And then, Honorable Co-Chair, I think the Honorable Mesa was impugning.
Chairman, I withdraw.
Yes,
I withdraw.
I think you should withdraw. You should withdraw. Yes. To say that they had an intention to embarrass. There is a motion before the House.
I duly withdraw.
Please.
So you don't have to belabor it. I've withdrawn and I apologize.
Yes.
He's apologized. You don't accept that there's an element of embarrassment in all of this?
Well,
yes or no? Yes or no?
It is against the rules, right? Practices and conventions of Parliament to impugn ill motives to a member who is making a point on the floor.
Yeah, thank you.
I have, in all humility,
no, you withdrawn it, so we don't believe it. We don't believe it.
Anybody?
It looks like it's done, isn't it?
Thank you for withdrawing. Yes. Okay.
Honorable Anhefo. You are the last one.
Question is that it passed 6, so I have to hurry up with my question.
No, you don't have. In fact, you do better by not asking at all.
Yes, the proponents of the motion. I understand you to be saying simply that the success of a country never lies not in falling, but rising each time there is a fall. You have stated in ground 6 and 7, respectively, that the finance minister is incompetent. He has mismanaged the economy. Earlier this morning, they brought a letter requesting for particulars. Can you tell the committee specifically what the finance minister ought to have done that he failed to do? In other words, what he has done that he ought not to have done that resulted in the incompetence and the mismanagement of the economy.
I'm not sure you are entitled to take us right back to the beginning of all that proceedings. No, that it's been explained. As they went along, they explained to us repeatedly, ad nauseam, explained to us why this and that, and repeatedly, as far as he was concerned, why he was incompetent. I kept asking him, that was your view, that was this and that and that. So why are you taking us back? So that's why I told you that when it's 6:30, you don't ask questions.
Mr. Co-Chair, if what they have given us satisfied.
Doesn't satisfy anything.
Ground.
It's their view. No, it doesn't satisfy. It's their view. Go on.
If they are satisfied with item number 5
Who is
on
satisfied
their letter,
with that? Who is
then
satisfied?
I am okay.
Who is satisfied? No, no, no. Don't leave us hanging like that. Who is satisfied with what?
There was a letter specifically requesting for particulars. And I am asking a question pertaining to ground 6 and 7.
We are saying that all along they made a statement to the effect to what they think is the incompetence. We accept that. But now you are saying that if we are satisfied, that the committee is satisfied that there's some incompetence here, or who is satisfied?
No.
That is their view.
No.
The finance minister will come and explain whether...
If you are satisfied that
who is
the
satisfied?
answers given complies with the full
You
particulars
are
that they are requesting for.
You are out of order. You are out of order. It's okay. Any more questions? Any more questions? Okay. Yes.
Honorable members, any more questions to the two witnesses?
Well, it's fine. No more questions.
Oh, don't worry. All right. The Honorable Minority Leader and the Honorable Ranking Member on Finance, the Honorable Members of the Committee, the Honorable Members of the Committee have indicated that they do not have any further questions for you. There will be no questions from either myself or my co-chair, the Honorable K.T. Hammond. There is only one outstanding issue with respect to reference that was made to the special audit report.
Before forget, you recall that along the line we referred the Hansard of June to counsel for this thing to clear with his client if they appreciate what's in there. I think we almost gloss over. Yes, counsel, what do you have to say about that?
Honorable K.T. Hammond, I was on the floor with respect to that audit report, and I think I must insist.
We'll come back to it.
Okay.
We'll come back to
Okay.
it. We made a ruling on it. If you are going to overrule my ruling, we'll deal with
No,
that. But let's
I
deal
didn't
with
intend
that.
to overrule.
So let's listen to.
As a matter of committee procedure,
understand that.
I thought that we should take.
I understand that. Let's listen to counsel and then we'll take it from there. Yes. That will refer to him. We'll come back to it. I'm tired, actually. Yes, go on.
Mr. Chairman, I've looked at the Hansard of 22nd June 2022, specifically from pages 116 to, I believe, 123. The question was laid by Theresa Ladi Awuni, and the specific question to be answered by the Minister of Finance was this. Mr. Speaker, I beg to ask the Minister for Finance how much was raised in total from government bonds since 2017, who the transaction advisors and book runners were since 2017, and how much was paid to each of the transaction advisors and book runners since 2017. And the question, the names that came up, there were 9 institutions at least, including Stanbic Bank, EcoBank, Absa Bank, GCB Bank, Car Bank, Fidelity Bank, IC Securities, Data Bank, and Blackstar Brokerage. Now, all the details I haven't gone through to be able to say that this percentage or this amount was.
That really has nothing to do with the conflict of interest point at all.
So I'll get there. I will get there because the number was mentioned here as having specifically gone to Data Bank. And I'm saying that I haven't done the calculation to tell you. But what I can say, and I go back to my point, that there was no specific question or mention of conflict of interest. The minister was asked for information, facts and figures regarding bonds issued. And in this case, so I think if we're going to create a link between the two, as in the minister being called to ask questions, to answer questions on bonds, link that with the minister facing a vote of censure, where specifically one of the allegations is to do with conflict of interest, then my submission is that, respectfully, that matter, as to where that matter can be properly
We'll get you. We'll deal with that in
It's-
relation to the
it's,
constitutional point you raised. Thank you very much.
is charged.
Okay.
The
thank you.
Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice. Yeah.
Council, just
Yeah.
No, you are not following. No. No, that what, sorry, what did I say? I asked him we gave him the document to clear with his what's the name? The finance minister. So we
Chairman,
Harun,
Chairman,
stop
Chairman.
it, please, stop it.
You heard him.
No, I haven't heard him. I'm speaking, and you also speaking. What do you intend to do?
yeah. So,
we
yes,
Let me finish mine.
Counsel.
Yes. So we asked him to clarify with his client. He's come up to tell us his view. So what's the problem, Aruna?
Chairman, you have to be a little patient. As he read the answer, continue to be.
Else I would have sacked you from this place already.
In his answer, he mentions
This is my field today.
Data bank.
You can't have the whole house to yourself when we get there. Today is my day.
Black Star. So that excited our interest on conflict of interest to see whether it bordered on ethical or unethical conduct. We are not conclusive. So some of these questions, for instance, we've already filed a question for the Minister of Finance to answer on pensions. Don't overrate what we know. We only ask to get official confirmation for our purposes in saving this country. So we've already filed a question for the Minister of Finance to answer a question on pensions. We know something, but we want to be sure. So I just wanted to contextualize it. But
as I said, we will discuss that in context in context of the constitutional point that he raised.
Yeah, Counsel, are you aware that from the Hansard report, payments were made to Data Bank? You are aware of that?
It is obvious.
Very well.
Among others. Yeah.
Among others?
Yeah.
All right. And the finance minister stands in a relationship with Data Bank, does he not?
Finance Minister is a co-founder of Data Bank.
Okay.
And he's not the first finance minister to be a founder of a bank.
Well, that is a
But he
historical
founded
fact.
it before
Very well.
he became
Very
finance
well.
minister.
What about the resignations? I read something about he resigned from directorship. or
Honorable
something
KT
about-
Amon,
No,
can I learn?
I need to
It is
clarify.
important.
I
It's
need to
important.
clarify this.
It's important. It's important.
What about is he still a member? Whatever.
He resigned, I believe, in 2014 or 2012.
Yeah, but he's a shareholder, is he not? Oh, no, Counsel, please. You made a constitutional objection based upon the content. The content. Okay.
You are not aware of the full facts on that.
Respectfully,
Yes.
I am saying that there's nothing wrong with Parliament asking a Minister of Finance about
Payments made to his
payments
company.
made.
Very well.
But in this particular instance, the charge or allegation or ground for his removal through the process of vote of censure is specifically about conflict of interest. I think let's not try to.
I think we had
misunderstand.
enough of this.
Yes.
We had enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So what? That's done. Now let's.
So-
What next? What follows?
So,
Sorry. Well, forgive me. So when maybe I said it instinctively. So what? If I repeat, what I mean then is that what is that? Yeah.
What
so
next?
what is that next?
What
So
next?
I-
yeah. Yes, the
That's
Auditor
what I thought.
the
What
Auditor
is the
General
point? What are you saying about it?
about his. I mean,
I ruled it out. What are you saying?
well, it must be ruled in.
So you are telling
because,
Chairman what to do?
No.
Say,
the
when I
committee-
talk about modern day young men, everybody is upset with me. Look at that.
These are
Your uncle makes a ruling
No,
a forum as important as this, and you want to overrule it. Mr.
unfortunately,
Chairman,
no,
I think
unfortunately,
you are not helping. You are not helping the cause of this.
unfortunately, unfortunately.
How are you going to get this back in? How are you going to get it back in? No, we didn't agree with you. No, who didn't agree? The chairman.
Okay.
Let's get this right. When the chairman rules, he doesn't need the agreement of the entire body. It is the co-chairman. Now, I talked to the co-chairman. I thought he agreed, and we ruled it out.
No,
why is
no,
the co-chairman coming back on this
agreed.
one?
I hadn't agreed before we rose. As I said, I said.
No, I didn't think I was.
Yes.
But if he says, wait a minute. No.
It's important. It's important because
So
they
if he
answered
says-
questions on it.
If he now says that it was unilateral, what does he intend to do now? You see, we'll face a big header because I have ruled. He says he didn't rule. I got 3 of them here. We are 4. You got 3 of you here. We are 4. You are 4. What are we going to do?
Well, we take a vote.
How do you take that vote?
We'll take a vote.
All right. I go along your vote and let me hear you.
Very well. Before we take the vote, you want to make a point.
Chairman, thank you for the opportunity revisiting.
Sammy, that's the point. That's the point. What is it that, because the point, one second, the point that we're making was that consistently they were arguing that we stand the risk of continuously adding to the list. We already have 17, and so we said, when you 18 of the items, that so we said that in fact they themselves didn't have this. They made no reference
already,
to this.
no. On the list we have Auditor General report.
What is it in there that you
We have
wanted
Auditor
to?
General
Okay,
report.
Show us
This is
the
an
point that-
Auditor General's report.
Go on, show us the point
I
that
made
you wanted.
reference to page 34 and 35.
What is in there?
About the recoveries that have been made. The 4.7 billion in wrong pockets. The Auditor General has managed to retrieve
wrong pockets.
2.2 billion.
In wrong pockets,
Yes,
not
yes.
in the finance
Diversions.
minister's pocket.
Diversions. Well, the finance ministry is here, 1.6 billion.
Not in the finance minister's pocket.
I haven't, for the finance ministry, it's here as 1.6
All right.
billion.
So yes, the Auditor General is made some money for the state. Is that the point?
The Auditor General confirms
Yes.
the fiscal recklessness we are talking about, the malfeasance, the diversions, the corruption. So, Auditor General's report is in the list of reports that have been presented by the proponents. Why can't we add this?
You want to mark it as what?
Yes, let's add
hand
it.
it over to the clerk and mark it as
Thank you very much.
Give me. Mark it, and the minister would answer for himself. He can talk.
The microphones are on. Please. I think that if the Auditor General makes a report, this report is not against the finance minister specifically. The Auditor General can make report, and that is his duty. He makes it every year. He recoups monies that go into wrong hands. Except we want to say that every item,
is responsible for that.
Minister is responsible.
So that's,
Otherwise, I do not see.
I'm happy to put it in there. It's
No,
all right.
no, that's the
That's
import
fine.
of what you are saying.
Yeah, put it in there. That's fine.
The Auditor General had made a report.
Honorable members.
The
At
complaints you are making
this stage, the evidence has been laid. Whatever probative value we attach to that evidence is left for the committee. So that is why I think it's important.
The evidence has been led by.
The evidence has been led by the proponents of the motion, and honorable members, in asking follow-up questions, are entitled to refer to documents in the public domain published by this republic.
And if it's irrelevant.
No, why do you say it's irrelevant? You are saying that it's irrelevant.
Nothing means the finance minister
so
on this.
okay, so make you. Well, so
colleagues, enough. We can't be shouting across like that. Yes, complete.
Well, I was saying that if the honorable member is minded to have the committee rule on the admissibility of the evidence, he's entitled to put a motion on the floor. You are entitled to make a motion on the floor for us.
Honorable Imadu, for what it's worth, let's put it in there. I mean, he made 2 points. The probative value of it is significant. Let's put it in there. We'll see what it's worth. It's fine. It might not be worth anything as far as this contest is concerned. All right. So,
okay. So the honorable minority leader and the honorable ranking member on finance, I think you've
No, I don't think they need to take their leave yet because we've got to decide on our next steps. If we have to get them back here, they need to know.
No, the clerks will communicate to them.
Okay.
If we need to get them back here.
Okay.
Yes. So you are discharged from the committee. And thank you very much for the time you have spent with us and for the evidence that you have placed before the committee in service of the Republic of Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you, too.
Council will be here with us. We thank you very much. He will be coming back with the finance minister when he is giving, evidence. We'll make a determination with respect to the time that you appear before us.
Mr. Chairman, we were told that we will be given time to prepare, and considering all the documents and evidence that were being thrown in as the proceedings were going on, we would wish to request for 48 hours to allow the finance minister to study the documents and all the evidence before this committee.
Entirely proper. It's entirely proper. Yes. It's finished. It said about 48 hours. 48 hours is Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah. And
come on, with all the evidence that we had, give them 48 hours.
172. We would want. Is it our understanding that they have finished? Yeah. That's my understanding. Okay. And you will still rule on the round one. Okay. And when should we expect a response from you on that?
We will do that before we leave here.
Tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
On the constitutional point, we would rule on that before we leave. Yes.
Okay. But we require at least 48 hours.
What's your reckoning of the 48 hours?
48 hours should mean that, what's today?
Today is Tuesday.
Yes, says we are looking at Friday.
So we have tomorrow 24 hours. Yeah. No, wait a minute. 48 hours. Let's do the mathematics right. Have you forgotten your mathematics? No, I haven't. 48 hours. Tomorrow is 24. Mm-hmm. And then Thursday is another 24, 48. So we're talking about Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Council, the last day, we've been given 7 days.
Yeah.
All right. And the last day, is Friday.
Yes.
So we don't have, the speaker's permission to give an extension beyond the 7 days.
We could. I mean, that we could. We could go to the speaker and...
No, that would require moving a motion on the floor, right?
What's the problem with that?
Well, we believe we can... The finance minister, who will speak for himself...
Yeah.
We believe we need just 1 day for the finance minister to make his submissions. Yeah.
Well, if that is so,
Friday,
can we have you on Thursday at 11? So that we give ourselves...
Yeah. What about 2 o'clock? Yeah.
Thursday may be a bit of a stretch. This is a serious committee. A lot of serious allegations have been made.
Friday seems to be fine. We'll talk about this. Yeah, we'll talk about this. Because the whole idea of coming here, moving this to committee, is to give the minister ample time to scrupulously deal with the issues confronted with. So I think Friday, Mr. Co-Chairman, let's Thursday or Friday?
Friday morning.
Yes.
In that case, we'll meet earlier. We'll meet earlier so that, yes. So instead of 11, 10. We can meet at 9 or 10.
No, 10.
10 o'clock.
Yes.
10 o'clock in the forenoon.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Council.
Thank you.
All right. And Honorable Finance Minister, thank you for attending upon the committee with your technical team. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll draw the proceedings of the committee to a close for today. Thank you very much, members of the media. Yes, and we are not going to answer questions, asked by the media. Okay? No member of the committee is allowed to do that.